What's going on, everybody? So today is a very special day today because I have a new effect to show you guys. So a couple of you have seen the photo on my Instagram right here where it's a split photo where we have two images together combined into one. So I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to do that. So let's get right into it. So I have here two photos on Photoshop, one full one and another full one. So what you want to do is you're going to want to create a new file. And you're going to make it any size you would like. Preferably, for my preference, I'm going to use an Instagram story. My computer loads, it's kind of slow, but... So after you have the three photos pulled up on Photoshop, the first thing you're going to need to do is to create a new document. And for this document, it can be any size you would like, just as long as that it works for whatever you're going to publish this on. So for my preference, I'm going to do a 1920 by 1080. Let's see here. So once you create the file, you're going to have a blank canvas. So what you need to do is you need to combine the two images onto the one so it's evenly split in between. That way, when you post it on the platform, it looks as if it's two photos on one page. So in order for you to do that, you're going to need to go to one of the two files that you have. And it doesn't matter which of it's just as long as you go to the files and you unlock them. So right here on the bottom of the corner where it has layer 1, or just the first layer, you're going to unlock it so it's easy to grab. So what I mean by that is you're going to do the selection tool. Maybe just zoom in a bit. 1 second. So once you select it right here, you're going to have the ability to take it off the back side. And what I mean by that is that it's going to be easy to move and it won't be locked on to the original layer. So don't worry about moving it or anything, just as long as these are both unlocked. So I'm going to go to the second file right here. And I'm going to unlock this one too right here. So once they're both unlocked, now you're set for the split image. And be sure that you have all three open. So you need to have the two files that you would like to split onto one photo and the canvas of the size you would like. For the canvas of the size that you'd like, if this is for Instagram or for any platform that you're choosing, just Google the preferred pixel ratio. So once you have the blank canvas, and don't worry, it doesn't matter on the color that you have, just as long as it fits the ratio that you need, you're going to copy and paste both of these photos. So for Mac, I'm going to click Command-C. And for Windows, you're going to press Control-C to copy it. So I'm going to press Command-C for the Mac computer. Now if you just copy that image. And then I'm going to go to the blank canvas right here. Right on the blank canvas, I'm just going to copy and paste it. So in order to paste it, the same thing like I said before will be, instead of Command-C, it will be Command-V to paste the photo for the iMac. As for the Windows platforms, you're going to paste it by clicking Control-V. So as you can tell, it's just too big of a size. So in order to fix that, I'm just going to resize it by clicking Control-T. So now that you have the first image on here, you're going to have to do the next step. So the next step of this process is actually the easiest part, in my opinion. The reason why I say this is that it's not very of a complicated process. It's just more of the habit of getting into. And there's a lot you can do with this. And in fact, with this technique, you can even do 3 photos on one page instead of 2. So I'm going to go to View on the computer. I'm going to click New Guide. Or New Guide Layout, I'm sorry. So you're going to click New Guide Layout. And right here we have 2 options. We have rows and columns. You're going to deselect columns and you're going to select rows. And for the gutter, you want to make sure that this is at 0. That way there's no gap in between, unless if you would like that kind of effect. So I'm going to bring that down to 0 pixels. And I'm going to have 2 rows. And remember, like I said, you can have 3 or even more. But for this video specifically, I'm going to have 2 rows. I'm going to click OK. And be sure also that your margins are at 0, so there's no gap in between anything. So you can tell right here that this border all on the outside is exactly what we're looking for. And this is going to be really useful as for where you want to fit the photo. So for the next step, you're going to want to adjust the first photo as of where you want it to fit in the frame. Remember, these blue guidelines is going to be where this photo will be placed. So for instance, I want this one to be about right here. And I'm going to leave it just like that. Now the next part of this is you're going to click the selection tool and you're going to click the rectangular selection. You're going to drag it at the very top of the corner, and you can tell right here where my mouse is at the top left corner. You're going to drag it all the way down until it clicks onto the guidelines right there. And now the edges turn red. So once that is selected just like that, you're going to right click this and you're going to click select inverse. Once you selected the inverse, you go into your eraser tool, and it doesn't matter on the size or hardness as long as the opacity is at 100%, and you're just going to erase the underneath layer. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention before you move the second image over is to make sure you deselect the rectangular box tool. The reason why I say this is that it's going to cut your image, so you do not want that to happen. So I'm going to right click, deselect, and now the borders that were dotted have disappeared. Now you can finally move on to the next step of adding the next photo. So I'm going to press Command C and just paste it right on top. Now I have to resize this once again to whatever your liking is, as long as there's no white borders around. So I'm just going to resize this really quick. Bam. I think that's spot on perfect in my opinion. I'm not going to try too hard to get it exactly to where it needs. So now what you want to do is you're going to select the same box just like this around the borders so the edges turn pink. Now that it's dotted, you're going to right click this and click select inverse. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the eraser tool and erase all of the top. And keep in mind that nothing will happen if you go over this because it's selected as an inverse. So anything that's not selected in this rectangular subject will be erased and it will not affect that other image. So right as soon as it's erased, you're going to back to the selection tool, right click, deselect. Now that you have both of the photos deselect, you're about just done of the process. So now in order to disappear these guidelines and make sure that everything's okay, I'm going to go back to view and you're going to see the button click clear guidelines. So I want to clear the guides. As you can tell just right here, I'm going to zoom in for you, as that it's 2 full images. Bam, easy as that. And all you're going to do is you're just going to click file, export, save for web. Just save it as a JPEG and then make sure your quality is at 100%. And that's it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today. I will definitely be making more videos in the future, but for now, I hope you've enjoyed and hope that this helps you out very much.